Good evening and welcome to my midweek recap here for Apple and plan ahead for the remainder of the week. As soon as my notes come up here, there we go. I have taken a couple actions on a few trades here this week already. From Friday, I was holding these 190 calls here at 174 over the weekend. Monday had a very nice gap up. Took some off here on the little pullback to VWAP at 257. The remainder closed me out here. Actually, if I go to a higher time frame, it kind of irritates me a little bit. But I was stopped out just as price action broke below my intraday 8 EMA here, which I use personally to tell me whether or not there's a trend, and my stop just got too close. What I mean by whether or not there's a trend, you can see price gapped up, consolidated sideways, found support at this level, and continued higher from there. That just tells me there was a trend in force, and I ended up taking that position off much too early and left quite a bit on the table. Today, I got into a similar position. I got into the 27 July 190 calls here at 215 based on these moving averages where they are in relation to a couple of other things on the chart, which coincide with my plan for tomorrow. Since I added this position up here, I will be perfectly comfortable with adding into this position on any kind of pullback all the way back down to I'd say around 186.5, maybe even 186 area. Just a retest of this new apex we have. Also a retest of the inverted head and shoulders pattern. Price target for the overall move is up to around 194. I'm not saying you can go there right away. We still have a couple of weeks left before earnings, so plenty of time to make some profits and to trade whatever patterns I do see setting up. And with that in mind, over here on this time frame, this is the monthly chart here. We still have this big shooting star, not really a shooting star, but just an indecision doji type of candle at highs, lower than usual volume, so it doesn't necessarily confirm that there is a reversal there in sight, and it doesn't confirm that it's going to come down. So break it down on a little bit of a lower time frame here on the weekly. It was a shooting star. It's broken down, retested, and it's now come back below this level, which I'd consider to be very important, is 189.77 on the weekly time frame. I'd like to see price action get back above there, which is basically the breakdown level from where we came down here on the gap today. So whether it was trade news, tariff news, whatever, we gapped through an important level and kind of sold off ever since that point. So question now is, do the sellers take it overnight? Are they going to continue pushing harder? Still have this trigger in force on the weekly time frame from this doji at 187.30-ish. So as long as it stays above there, still going to be pretty safe. I expect market makers and the algos to see all the demand for the buyers right in this region here. Maybe run all the way straight down through there, trigger some stops, and roll back up. If that does occur, I will add on the way down on the curl up, and I'll add back into it with a stop loss below wherever that low is. As long as it doesn't come down too fast and take too much of the premium out of these calls, I'm going to hold these through the pain. Just have to remember to manage it properly. Now onto the daily time frame. Daily candle today was very ugly. Had it been at highs, I'd be a little bit more worried, but since it's in the middle of basically a gap fill, I'm not too overly concerned with it. All my moving averages are right below price. Nothing really scaring me on the daily time frame. Overall pattern I do have on here, still this big flag, with a measure move up here to approximately 205. Actually, I took my target level off there, but still looking for about 205 on that move. So we'll see what happens going forward. Price action is still holding above everything that I can see as being significant. And until that changes or we put in a new lower low, I'm going to stay on the bullish side here for Apple. So this will be my trade plan for Thursday. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them down below. Have a good evening and good luck.